Hello, Star Wars fans. Welcome back to another episode of the Starlight Podcast. We are back again with our star-studded cast. Lord Dagovere, how we doing, fam?
I'm feeling good, baby. I'm ready for the knowledge. Let's go.
Damn right. And of course, we've got Daddy Sheev. How we doing, brother?
Doing good, as Dagovere says. Ready up and unlock the knowledge. Ready to roll.
Hell yeah.
Stuff to talk about.
Hell yeah. So since we've last recorded, we recorded last Wednesday, the day before the Maul trailer had released, and now it has been about a week, and we've gotten a Maul trailer. There's been a lot of discussion around the Maul trailer. Daddy Sheev, I'm going to let you take this one away.
Thank you, Jedi Connor. So yeah, as Connor just said, since the last time we recorded, we got the full trailer, and there's some new information that's pretty exciting. More about some of the characters we're going to see in the show, the planet that we see in the trailer, some cool action scenes, and the animation is just absolutely insane. But I do want to focus more on some of the new information that we learned. And then I'll kick it off to you guys and get your thoughts. But the main kind of knowledge or information that I took away from the trailer is I'm looking right now at the Maul Shadow Lord website from Star Wars, and there's some more information on the planet. It's called Janix, and it is described as such. The world of Janix exists beyond the core, a planet that has largely escaped the attention of the Empire. Self-governed by democracy and the local law enforcement, Janix is a fragile balance of crime syndicates and gangsters operating with a tactic peace accord upheld by the underworld for their own business interests. So I find that interesting. It sounds like that's where we're going to get a majority of the show. And it sounds like, as Obi-Wan once said, a fertile place for Maul to flourish. So I guess I just wanted to ask you guys, what did you guys think about seeing this planet in the trailer? What do you think is going to happen to this planet throughout the Maul show?
Yeah, I think honestly, it is one of the most beautifully animated Star Wars anythings that we've seen, especially with 3D, because obviously Star Wars Visions is the best animation that we've seen in Star Wars, but Maul Shadow Lord gets pretty damn close for as much as that VeggieTales 3D animation can get. It really looks like a painting. They did have a different style for this show, which I love when they try new things, right? Obviously, the animation has gotten better throughout the years, but this is a distinct style that they purposefully, decided to almost like paint. A lot of the backgrounds seem like they're painted, and it really is cool. And I think this is kind of what we expected a lot. We talked about it before that Maul is going to try and get as much power as he can in this vacuum of the Empire, kind of overtaking the galaxy. And I'm sure we'll get a lot of familiar faces that we've seen. There's some new characters as well, specifically with Devin. We've got a couple of former Jedi characters. There's Devin. I'm assuming Devin's master, who I think will probably be dead within the first episode.
Oh, he's super dead. He looks really cool. He's like, it looks like a Trandoshan and with the hood, and you see him in the trailer using the Force. But that dude's super not going to be alive very long because, there's going to need to be Devin, I feel like, is going to be lost kind of. And it seems like from the trailer, Maul is going to be that like guidance for her and her character. Because what she knows is going to be gone.
Yeah. And it is really interesting to see Devin in that trailer go through this like cycle of, I'm sure she's going to be all Jedi, like very Jedi-like in the beginning. Then presumably she maybe loses her master in the first episode, and we see her kind of make that slip into someone who Maul can manipulate. And that is what Maul does best, is manipulate people and use them for his advantage. Because he is one of the most selfish people in the entire galaxy. Everything that he does is for himself to gain more power. And yeah, I'll throw it over to Dagovere because I see him flexing for his Darksiders. What did you think, brother?
Real quick.
Watch fun.
Real quick, before you jump in, Connor, you brought up a funny point, and then I'll pivot to Dagovere. So you were saying how he's a master manipulator. It got me thinking about Dagovere's favorite character, Ezra. So it looks like Devin is the trial child for Maul to test his manipulation, and then he's going to use that on Ezra. That just got me thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it, Dagovere. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, no, I think it's so funny too, because I think there's a lot of people that continuously like shit on Dave Filoni, and they have no idea how much story this guy has implemented from like George Lucas's notes from 2009 and so on. And you look at Morok, you look at the Inquisitor that's here, you look at Maul, who apparently has like so much side story that from George Lucas himself that we've never even heard of. And George Lucas's notes in Star Wars archives about his sequel trilogy that he was thinking about, with Leia being the chosen one and Maul creating a new syndicate army and the underworld and gangsters, and then of course Darth Talon. Devin or Devon, whatever they're going to call her. I'm also like worried that it's not Talon, but I feel like if it looks like a duck and sounds like a duck, it's a duck, right? It's Darth Talon, it has to be. I mean, that would be such a weird,
biggest rage bait of all time. Yeah,
yeah,
it's too close to like not be her. I'm assuming it's like an early version of her before she becomes Darth Talon.
Yeah, which I would like. I would appreciate it, because now you have that piece of manipulation that slowly starts to turn the flower into something it's not. And this is the dark times, and I love the idea of a Jedi saying, you know what, dude, this Jedi code just ain't really something I can survive on right now. Maybe I need to touch the dark. I really like that aspect of Maul coming in there, because he's a loose cannon and he's very dangerous, and while he may not be a Darth Vader, but this guy is so tactical, which I really appreciate, which I don't think a lot of people like they kind of sleep on Maul, how tactical he is. He's very good.
Well, he loses everything. He basically is the biggest loser in Star Wars. But aside from that, those times that we see him, he's almost there every time. He's almost to the point where he discovers and he triumphs, but obviously Sidious is in his way every single time.
Yeah. He's the greatest silver medalist of all time in Star Wars, in my opinion, dude. Racing at two people, that's what it is.
It's like racing Katie Ledecky going against Palpatine. It's like, you're so close. You're so close, but he's actually 20 seconds ahead of you and wins 20 million gold medals.
Oh, gosh, dude. Yeah, I love it. I am interested to see how this new planet Janix, which isn't even on the galaxy map yet. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen to this planet, how Imperial control is going to slowly just like destroy this planet over and over. Very crazy that this is a world that is outside the core, which means it's probably in the mid-rim or something like that. But that's still like close enough of where Imperial reign already should be a thing. So I'm curious that they just literally just made this planet just for the hopes of Maul to gather all these criminal syndicates, and then that's where the seed is planted, where he can slowly regain whatever it is he's trying to do.
Maybe it's some sort of planet that is the Empire almost doesn't want to touch for a while. Maybe it's so crime ridden and it's almost its own little sphere of it's its own little independent sphere where the Empire's like, listen, there's a lot of shit going on there. Maybe let's not focus, because this is going to take place probably like 2 years. We have TK troopers, right? We have TK troopers, so they're not clones. So it's probably like a year-ish, maybe a little bit longer into like post Order 66. So maybe it takes them time to get their bearings in order and then start to move out into the mid-rim, and specifically for a planet that it causes a bunch of trouble, which is what I imagine this planet will be.
Exactly, yeah. And you have the Syndicate there, and we already know the Empire is paying the Syndicate in most of these places because that's how they benefit. And maybe Maul is just like, not anymore. You boys are with me. And I'm curious, Johnny and Connor, those Zabrix in that trailer. Yeah. Those Zabrix in that trailer, one of them's got a goddamn minigun going up a ladder holding it. That was crazy. Yeah.
It's like he recruits some. Yeah, that was really cool. I don't think we've ever seen a minigun in Star Wars, but it was going kind of hard.
Yes, yeah. Right off the top of my head, the one from the Ronin first episode of Star Wars Visions.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's not a weapon that you see often. But still, I
Does
just
that count? No, I'm joking.
yeah, I know, right? Not canon. Yeah.
Yeah, not that doesn't count, then. But yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, that's a good point. It's not something we see common in Star Wars.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I just I like that. That really felt to me like we're getting this whole resurgence of Dathmerian Zabrak type of deal, with Maul doing his thing. I don't know. I really love Criminal Syndicate, and the underbelly of Star Wars is something to this day that I still feel like is underutilized. Mandalorian was kind of touching up on it a little bit, and same thing with Boba Fett and the Daimo stuff. But I just still feel like it was just the surface. Like, you guys could go deeper into the Criminal Syndicate. We really haven't seen that type of stuff since Clone Wars, and I'm hoping we get to see more type of stuff. I want Nar Shaddaa type stuff. Black Sun. Just all this fantastic syndicates out there, man.
I know we've talked about this. I know we've talked about this before, that we don't know what characters we'll see from other projects, specifically with Solo, because we've seen a lot of times they don't touch Solo characters, except for Kira outside of the comics. But someone that has already been brought into this Clone Wars animation style is Dryden Voss. We see for a second in Clone Wars Season 7 when the Mandalorians kind of go into check in on Maul. He has all of the Syndicate heads talking on hologram, and Dryden Voss is there. So that to me gives me a little bit of hope that we may see him and maybe learn a little bit more about all of that aspect. The Crimson Dawn stuff, I think, is something that could really be interesting, because Maul is, I think, coming after Order 66 is coming from a place of weakness. He probably lost most of his Mandalorian army. Do we think that?
Rookcast is there.
Rookcast is there.
Yeah, it looks like Rookcast. But
that's
Rookcast.
all. Is that all we have? Is that all we've seen in the trailers?
A lot of them are captured by the clones, I guess, still, because Mandalore's now occupied, right, by the Empire.
Yeah.
Mandalore's occupied by and then you also have some of the Mandalorians that are also fighting for the Empire as well. So Bo-Katan's arc is happening right now, but I would like to think if Rookcast is there, then some of her diehards are there as well.
But that's where we said this before. The Zabraks come in. He needs an army.
His boys.
Yeah, and Mother Talzin's dead.
Oh yeah, she's super not alive.
And Mother Talzin's dead, so they're. But I mean, all the Night Sisters died, but did the Zabraks die? Obviously not. They weren't massacred by Grievous, so maybe he takes a trip back.
But we also have to think about Ahsoka and Thrawn bringing back all of those bodies, and whatever purpose that's going to have in the second season, if it's repopulating, something or whatever. But I would like to think that the Zabraks see Maul as somewhat of a hero, because he was the one that had the gift.
Be a cult figure for them.
Yeah, exactly.
So Lisan al-Gaib type thing.
Yes, exactly. Yes, the chosen one. Yeah, dude. And so that's exactly what I like to think. If he's going to go back to his people, and they're going to be like, brother, yes, we will fight for you.
Savage.
yeah.
Savage, my brother. I definitely got him killed by Palpatine, but let's do this, boys.
I can't wait to see that. I love Dathomir, and I think there's a lot more stuff. But I mean, they're definitely going to be rocking out for your boy Maul. So we're going to see what's going to happen.
Be riding. Can't wait.
Dude, he has an innate charisma that allows him to just get anybody that he wants to listen to him. I mean, Ezra was listening to him for a while. Ahsoka was listening to him for a while. Ahsoka was so close. Ahsoka was so close to joining him. The only thing that turned her away from him was Maul saying the worst thing you could say. There was literally every single other response to what Ahsoka asks, what do you want with Anakin Skywalker? Say literally anything else except for I want to kill him, basically. He
had a poor persuasion roll. He definitely rolled in that one. D20 dice. It's like the worst thing he could have said. He could have said, you're right, Connor. He could have said literally anything else, and we would have gotten. That's why we need a what if. We would have got Ahsoka and Maul pulling up with the squad.
No game sense for Maul. No game sense at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Zero
which is crazy because he's the only one that sees everything that's happening. And yeah, you're right. But at the same time, too, you can't blame him. He's a Sith. You know, he's a trained Sith. He's a weapon. So all he's thinking about is like, no, we got to kill this guy. You know, oh yeah, no,
absolutes. So
your boy, nah. Yeah, exactly. So it sucked, and I think it's also hilarious too because Ahsoka's like to bring balance to the Force, and he's like, no, to destroy. What the dumbass?
Because honestly, if you're Maul, right? If you're Maul, right, and you see Ahsoka pull up, that's not the worst thing in the world because at this point you're like, she's not really a Jedi. Like I have a chance because she's not a Jedi. She hasn't been a Jedi for a little bit, so maybe, obviously. With Devin too, it's like they haven't been Jedi for a little bit. Like maybe I have a chance to manipulate her.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's like, we were both victims of the Jedi. Didn't they turn you away? Like, didn't they not believe you? And Ahsoka obviously has the state of mind to realize that Maul is bullshitting her, or at least that's what she thinks. But he honestly wasn't.
You lie. Spoiler alert: he wasn't lying.
That is true, but from Ahsoka's point of view, like,
yeah.
Definitely lying.
Yeah, he's captain. Anakin wouldn't kill kids. Not him.
Yeah, not him.
Oh.
Yeah. You did mention something though, Johnny. You mentioned a what if. I am vehemently against a what if for Star Wars. I think it's the worst thing that you can do. We've talked about
this before. I think Dagovere, you're with Connor, but dude, I would love a what if of Star Wars. I need happy endings, please.
That's boring.
The only what if I'm ever.
Yeah,
I mean, well, I don't think it's boring. I just don't want it to be Marvel. I just don't want multiverses. Then I think that devalues the franchise entirely. I think that does more destruction than any movie you say
just
can
call
destroy.
It not canon, and we're good.
But that's the thing. It's not canon until it is canon. You know, until someone brings in a story like, all right, this is alternate dimension Anakin Skywalker that reaches full potential. You know, I just don't want that. You know, like. That is the only what if I'm interested in, and I think it would be cool for like a comic or something. But I just think that if you want that, watch Marvel. You know.
Yeah, watch. It honestly because like we see how much hate there is. We see how much hate there are on our videos and in the fandom where people want to change things, where people don't want this to happen. They're asking for this to be decanonized. They're asking them to redo all of this stuff. If you make a what if series and that can just be something for the grifters, for all the haters to just like latch onto and being like, why can't you make this canon? Why did this happen? I understand that you, Johnny, as like a positive fan would enjoy alternate stories and alternate endings, but I think you're right, Dagovere, in the fact that it would do way too much damage. It is honestly the downfall of the MCU for these past couple of years. Maybe they'll redeem themselves with like a Doomsday or stuff like that. But once you bring in the alternate dimensions, and now Robert Downey Jr. is showing up again as Dr. Doom, and Steve Rogers is back, like you lost me. All right, like you lost me.
Those are good points, guys. I just want Anakin to stay in the council.
Watch Lego Star Wars. Watch Lego Star Wars.
But that's a good point. I mean, people would probably just complain more. Like, it would be great stories, but then they'd be like, oh, why isn't this canon? I can understand that perspective, but I'm going to stay in my positivity lane. Everybody else could be very negative. I would enjoy that. But you guys make a good point.
But I want that too, Daddy Sheev. I do. Like, I would like to see Anakin not be a fucking idiot. You know?
Yeah, like what if he just stayed in the council chamber? Like
Jesus. No, I mean, he doesn't even have to. He could just be like, oh, my bad, Mace. You're right. This guy's a goddamn
This guy looks like a scrotum. Shit. Like I shouldn't listen to him. Like,
Jesus, man.
That's all we need.
God, I love that movie. That's my favorite movie. I love Anakin. He's my favorite character, but Jesus, man, I am the meme of watching it like 10,000 times.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's my thing. Everybody's talking about, well, the awareness. Dude, how can you be self-aware when this dude's been manipulating you since a kid? You know, this guy is genuinely your only friend. And Anakin has he has mental illness. He's a former slave. He's got trauma and abuse. He's got problems. Anakin was the perfect grooming victim for this guy, and he just happened to be the freaking ticking time bomb of the universe, you know? So the self-awareness stuff, I get what people are saying, but that's not how it was going to work. Not when you have the freaking devil whispering you in the ear saying, yeah, that guy you're supposed to trust, he's an idiot. Yeah, that guy that you're supposed to trust, yeah, they don't trust, they don't see your power, you know? So it just sucks. But Jesus Christ, even with everything that was going on, you shouldn't have chopped Mace Windu's hand off, buddy. What are you doing, man?
And then subsequently murder children.
Yeah. Well, and that's, God damn it. Yeah. Jesus, Connor. So it pisses me off even more because, like, there's the reason why Revenge of the Sith is one of my favorite movies, if not my favorite movie, is because you watch that goddamn movie and then Anakin does it right. He says, you know what? I'm gonna snitch. I'm gonna tell the council. I'm gonna go, and then he does it, and that's it. End the movie. That's it. The game is over. We won. You know. And then yes, after that, he kills Mace Windu, and then Palpatine's like, "Oh, bro, my bad. I don't know how to revive people from the dead, but maybe we can figure it out." I'm crashing out. I'm crashing out. The Sith is gone. The Sith is dead. And then I'm saying he killed Mace and I saved everybody. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that really is a sudden, like when you watch that movie, it really is like a flip. That scene specifically, when he's like kneeling and like being like, "What can I do?" Like when Palpatine's like, "But together we can learn how to save your wife."
Let's be done.
And at that point, like Anakin should have just been like, "What? What do you mean? What do you mean you can't save? What do you mean? You've been lying to me this whole have you been lying to me about my wife?" Like that's all you say. Like, what do you mean? But then he just like he blindly accepts it, which is I think is probably the lowest point of the movie for me is when he's like, when you watch that, you're like, really? Like it was such like a clear flip of like, all right, well, I like any other person would have been like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about?
Dagovere brings up a good point. Like, he's basically been manipulated. So maybe I'm being too hard for not being aware. But it would have been funny there after Palpatine says that if he hit him with like a Peter Quill from Guardians of the Galaxy. You know the what? Now I know that sounds bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's exactly how it is. But also, Peter Quill also had a father figure in his life.
Yeah, true.
So that is also the other thing. That's he had the Qui-Gon, Anakin didn't. So it is what it is.
But stuff like that is why I wanted a what if, because I watched Revenge of the Sith and I'm still waiting for Anakin not to do that, and he still does it. So that's more of me just like being sad about
just
that.
For your own conscience. You're actually just
for my own conscience and seeing like art and stuff on like I've seen in the past of like Luke and Leia playing with Obi-Wan and Ahsoka, like,
but that's what makes it so good. But that's what makes it so good is because it doesn't happen. If you guys are talking about that story where he turns or he doesn't turn, like, what's the point? Like, there's no point of a story.
I agree. Yes, and I think that's also
joy.
Yeah, no, I understand, because I think that's also this part about being a fan is the theory crafting and the what ifs. Is because you're the one talking about it, and it's just like, man, if Anakin didn't do that, it'd be like that Lego TikTok we sent each other, where it's just like, he's like, you're right, Mace, F this guy, and he kills Sidious, and then Padme has the two kids, and they freaking grow up, and that's it. Now I'm crying, So it's just so God, that fucking movie, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's just
It also is
technically. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say there is technically the what if in the Revenge of the Sith game, where Windu you don't cut off his hand and Windu just kills Palpatine, and then Windu just like turns to Anakin, and if I remember correctly, he's just like, "Hey, thanks. I could have done that without you." Like that's like
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I swear that was if maybe I'm remembering incorrectly, maybe it was another Star Wars game where there's like
I believe the alternate version of Revenge of the Sith is when he
kills
Obi-Wan.
Sidious.
Obi-Wan,
I'm thinking
yeah,
of-
he kills Obi-Wan,
Obi-Wan.
and then he's
I
like,
think of something else.
he's like, "Your lightsaber, Lord Vader." He's like,
Yeah.
"The galaxy is mine." And he throws it up, and he
Yes,
goes,
the galaxy
"Ugh."
is mine. He says
I'll
that
reenact
after
it.
he kills Sidious.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll
After he kills
reenact it.
Sidious.
He hits him with this. Ah, thanks for the lightsaber, dude. Dead.
No, but the best part is he like throws it up. He's like,
Yeah, he
he's
throws
like,
it up.
That's what I'm saying. He goes like,
yeah, yeah, dude. Oh man, dude, that game was.
I
great.
must be thinking about a fan thing then, maybe from a different Star Wars game, but
I don't know.
that's a good point.
Yeah, I played that game a lot, but I don't.
Obi-Wan. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I must be.
and then the
Maybe
clones
I
are
saw
like,
a fan thing.
the clones
I
are
must have seen a fan thing.
the clones are like,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
I mean, they turned that same day. They turned on every single one of their Jedi Masters. Just This was pre-inhibitor chip. Like pre-inhibitor chip. They're
Yeah.
just like, all right, sorry, bro.
Whatever,
I
bro.
guess, bro.
Yeah. It is interesting to see the Revenge of the Sith novelization talk about that, where like all the clones just like are like, all right, man.
How did they
like,
describe it?
we gotta kill. Well, there's a really funny scene in the book where it's when Cody grabs Obi-Wan's lightsaber. He's like, you might need this, and then that's literally like he goes off up the mountain. He gets the order, and he's like, I wish I didn't give him his bloody lightsaber. And then he starts shooting. He's like, bang, bang, bang. Sorry, man.
Anyway, I started blasting.
Yeah. He's like, oh, damn, I gave him his lightsaber. Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna live now. Bang, bang, bang.
So in the
And he did.
novelization,
And he did.
just so I understand, before inhibitor chip, were the clones just like, oh, we just swore to the Chancellor? Oh, Order 66, it was just, oh, okay, let's kill the Jedi.
Yeah,
Say less.
there's also, I believe, a story mode in the original Battlefront 2 game where it talks about
journals.
the journals, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks
I love those
specifically
narrations.
about like, like we didn't like we knew what we were gonna have to do and like all that stuff. So that is really dark when you think about the fact that there were no inhibitor chips.
And they just did it.
And they just did it because they were told to.
Yeah, I remember sitting there. I always post the Mr. Krabs by the campfire with SpongeBob.
Yeah, I was thinking of that.
And that's how the 501st journals are being told. You know, where SpongeBob listening to Mr. Krabs. I think
Yeah,
this
8-year-old
so funny.
me listening to Tamara Morrison.
Tomorrow
talk
Morrison
about
narrate.
The 5FS was discreetly back to Coruscant.
Yes.
Not a word was said on the ship.
We all knew what was happening that night. You know, like, oh shit, Jesus, man. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, do you guys like the inhibitor chip stuff? I think it's yes, that's my thing. And now there's a lot of Legends diehards that I have in my chat all the time, and they're like, they really liked the Clone Wars before the Clone Wars animated series came out because that's when all the retcons happened, and I just think it makes more sense to me that the chip is in there and that these brothers turned on their brothers, you know. That makes the most sense for me. But for me, it's like the entire time these guys were without the chip, just were loyal to the Emperor and said, F it, bro, these Jedis are gonna fucking die, dude. Yeah. But like that to me is crazy.
That's
like
cold-blooded.
Yeah. I mean, the intent I understand, but I think it's also just so much harder to convince me that these guys are like royal bodyguard level type of loyalty. Like when the Emperor's dead, these guys got to kill themselves because that's how loyal they are to the Emperor. You know, which is, I mean, that's crazy. I'm curious to see how the lore would have worked in the Clone Wars animated series when he did that, and that's one of those things where I'm like, oh shit, man, these guys really were like the Judas, like they did not care, bro.
Yeah,
you know?
To me, it's so unbelievable. It would be unbelievable to not have their chips because there are millions of them, and not one of them's gonna be like, "Yo, Pop, like we might betray you." Like to me, that is
or like we've been in the trenches for 3 years. Oh, this creepy guy told me to kill you. Okay, bet.
Yeah.
Like the inhibitor chip just adds more of an emotional like aspect to the clones and more human side because you know with the Jedi they've talked about it in the shows of you know the clones like really bonded with their Jedi leadership and built that personal connection. So on a whim for them to just like betray them, that just wouldn't make sense. So adding this kind of like brainwash of like, oh, we're gonna activate something that like no matter what, they are gonna turn, I think works narratively and just makes more sense than the original intention in Legends.
Yeah, I also think the stories of the inhibitor chips, specifically in the Clone Wars, are top tier stories from that show. Like fives, all of that stuff is like on the edge of your seat of what is going to happen. And I think it just creates another dynamic to talk about Palpatine and the Sith in general, where they're going to plant this army in their enemy's house, in their rooms, where they're just going to activate it, and then it's like a sleeper agent where they're automatically in there. I think it's crazy. One of my favorite things to think about is the clones after Order 66. And we saw that. That's why I love the Bad Batch so much, is because we talk about the clones as like individual people and the aftermath of it. And we talk about clones' rights, and we talk about clones fighting for, their rights to be actual people, because they are people, but they're also like half their age. They age like twice as fast. They're like 13-year-olds basically. But the Empire, like the Republic, didn't treat them as humans ever. And obviously the Empire didn't either. So and we see that homeless clone in, is that Book of Boba Fett, or is that
Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan, that's what it is. Yeah. That homeless clone as well. And you think about like there are millions of these guys out there that have nothing. Yeah, and they have nothing, and they're probably looked at as second, third class citizens within the galaxy, because they are taught that to be. People are just taught to hate them. They were never actual people.
Yeah, it is sad to see. I think that clone had a name too in Obi-Wan. And there's always a side of me, what if he said when Obi-Wan paid him, "Oh, thanks, General." Like, that would have been kind of funny to me if like he recognized Kenobi. But yeah, that's a good point. You bring up, Connor, with the clones in general. It was really cool to see that in the Bad Batch, and they are more like humans than I know they're designed to be more like, I guess, droid-like and obey, and that was more of how they were portrayed in Legends. But what we saw in Clone Wars is a lot of them have their own personalities and their own thoughts. So, like I kind of said earlier, like the inhibitor chips just make more sense, because they're not just going to be like, "Oh yeah, I've been fighting with you for 3 years. Okay, time to die." They'd be like, "What the hell is this? What does this mean? Orders like the way the Bad Batch reacted, like, what's Order 66? Like, what, bro? Like, what is that?"
Yeah. But also morally, like the clone empire, the clone army as an entity in itself is like super immoral. Like super immoral.
Oh, yeah.
They're breeding humans
just
to fight.
Millions of dudes, to just go, "Oh, your job is to die," but you're like a person.
And a lot of times we see it, I think it's from Dark Disciple, we hear Dooku's speech to the Separatists and to the galaxy, where he's talking about like, join the Separatists. We make robots to fight wars for you. We're not like the Republic who breeds actual people to die for them. Their lives are only to be killed as soldiers. We're more moral than them. We'll be looking out for you. Like, we'll create more jobs because we are building robots. You know what I mean? So it's like, that is another aspect to the army that, I mean, the Republic really had nothing to do with it. That just fell into their lap when they had nothing else to do. But like, that's another aspect of like a deeper, like, looking at that situation in that war, because it was really fucked up.
Yeah, that's actually pretty sick. That's a pretty sick monologue, honestly. I'm surprised that's not on some TikTok slop, honestly.
Yeah.
That's how good it is.
It is really good when he talks about when Dooku's like, we are morally righteous.
Separatist propaganda. Yeah, I'm waiting for that reel on Instagram again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's like that stuff, when you go deeper into it and there's like gray areas to look at in these conflicts, that's what I love to see.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, what else do we want to hit here? I mean, we've been going for like about 35-ish minutes, but have you guys heard any topics that you kind of wanted to hit?
Did you get all your Maul stuff out, Johnny?
Did I what?
Did you get all your Maul stuff out?
My Maul stuff. Oh, for
Yeah, Maul Shadow Lord.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess there's some more stuff I could talk about there. We'll do that, but then also maybe we'll circle back to still nothing more about the Mandalorian and Grogu, which I find interesting.
Oh
It's been
God, dude,
another
it is
week.
almost February, bro.
Super Bowl.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a Super Bowl trailer.
that would be clutch. Oh, dude, that would be great when the Patriots are down by 3 scores and I get to see that. That would be awesome. Just hate watching at this point. But regardless, yeah, there were a few more things from Maul Shadow Lord, some other characters. One that I found very interesting in the trailer, and there's even a scene of him talking to a hologram of Maul, is Captain Branner Lawson, and the description reads as a respected police detective, Captain Branner Lawson, and his partner, a droid nicknamed Two Boots, which a droid named Two Boots sounds pretty cool. I feel like I'm gonna love that droid. I'm a big droid sucker. Shout out Teto from from Star Wars Visions. I just love me some droids. It says a droid named Two Boots investigate shadowy dealings on Janix. So it sounds like either when I was seeing in the trailer, I was curious of like, oh, is he gonna like maybe team up with Maul? Is Maul maybe gonna like manipulate him?
That's what
Is
it
he gonna
seems
be
like.
the antagonist? Like, I was curious what you guys thought about seeing that in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested because we'll see. I'm interested to see like if they're like morally gray, the police, like if they're going to like they're not obviously our protagonists, so they're going to be an antagonist to Maul. But in what regard are they going to be like good guys? Because we've seen a lot of the police enforcers and stuff like that, like be like honestly corrupt. Like in Star Wars, we've seen that a lot. Like all of these local police forces and stuff like that. So I'm curious to see like that aspect of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this guy Lawson looks like he's going to be an ally. I mean, I think the writing is in the pudding, and the pudding is the planet. Is how it's criminal syndicate, underworlds, everything that's going on, and he's going to be in danger of imperial occupation. So, what are you going to do? Ally with a former Sith Lord who probably knows how to keep the planet neutral. That's probably that's what I see is probably going to happen.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And also, I like this as respected. So maybe they're hinting at that in the sense of like, oh, he is a respected captain, but maybe he does get a little shady and, needs to team up with Maul because of this bigger threat, like you kind of mentioned, Dagvir,
Yeah.
with the Empire coming. Like, it might be a test of morals on that part, which I think would be really interesting to see. And I
Yeah.
just also want to see this droid. Two Boots is just a fun name for a droid. I wonder why it's called Two Boots. I'm gonna pull up his. There's a little character right up on Two Boots. Oh my God. Okay. Here we go. The police droid 2BOT, 2bot, or Two Boots for short, is unique among law enforcers of Janix. Deeply loyal to his partner, Captain Brander Lawson, with whom he investigates shadowy dealings, Two Boots can be recognized by his unique footwear, a pair of boots. So he's got the Nike Techs on, the black Air Forces. He's going to be dripped out.
That's actually hilarious. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I literally, before you read that, I was like, is this droid actually wearing boots? And that's crazy. That is so funny. I'm so curious to see if he even has his shit tied or not, dude. I'm so
Dude, I didn't know droids could be drippy. Like, I like that's kind of wild.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe he's part of that trailer. Maybe they're kind of like the boots to like scale the wall. Like I know we saw that in the trailer, but I'm really intrigued by some of these write-ups here, guys. I'm excited to see what we're gonna get with some of these newer characters in the show.
Yeah, I'm expecting a 10 out of 10, to be honest. I think that this is a really good spot for Star Wars animation. I'm very glad Arcane and Visions has existed because I feel like if they didn't, we probably wouldn't have got this level of upgrade for Star Wars. And there are parts where I'm curious how it's going to look because there's like if you look at a subject, like an object, for instance, like the characters, and then you try to look at the background, it's like blurry. Or what people say painted,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah, I
it's
noticed
very,
that.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So I don't know how people are going to absorb that when the show is actually going on, if it's going to be like too much of a distraction. That's what I'm worried about the most. But I think everything looks beautiful, and I'm curious to see what's the next level of this, how much further that they can go, because I think Arcane is like where animation should be for Star Wars. And I think it's like, I don't think it's as good as Arcane, but I think it's like right there. Like I genuinely feel like it is right there. So I'm curious to see just how this is going to be on my freaking OLED TV 4K, baby. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I think this is honestly like a layup for Star Wars. And it's Dave Filoni, so it's right in his wheelhouse, and it's Maul. He's a great character. Sam Witwer, great voice actor. We're in a time that has been, you can tell however many stories that you want within the time of 3 and 4. I've seen some people complain that there are more survivors of Order 66 with these two characters, with Devin and Devin's master.
But they still bitching about that shit?
Yeah.
I think it works in the show.
I think it works in general. There were tens of thousands of Jedi that were during the Clone Wars, and 99% of them were killed.
Scrub.
But that doesn't mean that there aren't like a couple hundred left. Literally, there are. We've probably only seen.
There is less than 100 left, guys.
Yeah.
There are less than 100 Jedi left, and all of them, majority of them, are fucking scrubs, guys.
Yeah.
Sidious doesn't give a shit about these guys. Sidious doesn't give a shit about Kenobi. All those Kenobi TikToks out there about what did he think about him because he beat this guy. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care. He's mopping everybody. These are literally insects. Yeah, dude. So like all these little Jedi out here playing superhero on the night sky, they don't give a shit. They're gonna die eventually anyway. So I understand the criticism, but Yoda was a freaking Order 66 survivor. So was Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I don't know, man.
We have like maybe like 10 Jedi that we know that have survived Order 66 that we've seen.
Nardell Poof, Quinlan Voss, the boys. But I was gonna say, like, I mean, the Inquisitors have to hunt some people. Like, that was the point of them. So, like, yeah, there's gonna be Jedi survivors. So I don't really understand the criticism either. And I just like to see new Jedi. And the Master's probably super not alive after one episode. So
yeah. I don't know, man. I do not get tired of Order 66. I do not get tired of surviving Jedi because I know there's no hope for them. They're eventually going to die. Even Cal Kestis, that story is not written. I don't know what's going to happen. I think it would be smart to bring him into live action and have his story go on. But does that make for a good story? So we'll see what happens there, but I do not have a problem with these scrub dub Jedi that I don't know about, that I don't care about, that aren't even in shows because they don't mean anything to me. Devon may fucking be Darth Talon, so are you still going to survive that as an Order 66 survivor? The bulk of the Jedi are dead. They are gone, and the most important ones freaking died. There's literally only Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi left. That's it. Outside of, okay, maybe Quinlan, but they're not on the same level as those guys who are helping Luke in the end, So I just, I understand the criticism, but I just think there's so many other things to critique, and one of them should be, why are you getting stories in the original trilogy? Why are you getting stories in the original trilogy still instead of other eras? I think that's the criticism I would do, because of course, when you have stories in here, it's always going to be about a surviving Jedi.
Yeah. I mean,
give me Old Republic.
I'm finishing the High Republic right now. Like, we got the Acolyte too. Like, there are opportunities to tell stories outside of Order 66 survivors that we just haven't gotten them. But we've had it attempted. People didn't like it. So what else do you want Star Wars to do? And
yes,
we have
exactly.
Dawn of the Jedi, which is on the back burner. Am I right? Like, we don't know what's going on.
I think nothing exists until I see a trailer.
Yeah.
But essentially, I know that we've got this and that, but I just don't think there's any point to putting faith in anything until, we see a trailer about it. But I will also say, like, I think Dave, like you were talking about, you say a layup, but yes, I think he's in his element. And I am way more comfortable with him telling stories like this than putting him in something that he really doesn't know, like the Old Republic. I just think that if you have an issue with the Acolyte, why do you think something like the Old Republic is going to work when we really don't have anybody in Lucasfilm Animation that can tell those stories? They would have to re-educate themselves on the expanded universe and the video games and stuff like that. And sure, maybe a part of the timeline that they're working on, but like, I'd rather have Dave Filoni and company work on something like this that I know is going to be peak, because I have no worry at all about this show, because I know it's going to be really good because he was attached to it, and I'm not saying that we need to have the same stories over and over. That's not what I'm saying. Is I'm just not sure they're equipped yet enough to take that risk and have it not end up like the Acolyte.
Yeah, because
as we know, they're in their comfort zone.
Yeah, well, we know that Lucasfilm is gun shy. Once they hear hear pushback, they're pulling it. They pulled season 2 of the Acolyte. They obviously,
and there were supposed to be 6 seasons.
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
Yeah. It was supposed to be
originally
so
supposed
many
to be 6 seasons.
Like one season for each year of Cassian's life, basically before.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said Acolyte. I didn't hear you say Andor. Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah. But like we've seen them all like overcorrect on The Last Jedi with Rise of Skywalker. Like they hear everything that you guys are saying, and we're gonna get more tales. We're gonna get more Maul Shadow Lords in the meantime, and I mean it'll be great content. But at this point, especially with this transition that's going on with Lucasfilm, like probably isn't the time to go and try a whole new era. We have a video game of the Old Republic that'll come out in a few years, but that's
I genuinely feel like we are like 5 to 10 years away from a Star Wars: The Old Republic live action anything. 5 to 10 years for a High Republic anything. I just feel like they are not equipped enough yet to do that, and it's just because the reformation that's happening at Lucasfilm and everything else. There could be something, but I think the multimedia is where it's going to stay, which is like video games and comics and books, and that's it. I want these stories. I don't know how you're going to do that right now when the bulk of your strength is the original trilogy and Mandoverse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would love another publishing run of a new era.
Yes,
I think.
Yeah.
I had such a good time with the launch of the High Republic, talking with all my friends, figuring out, like getting a book on its release is so fun, and everybody's reading it and everybody's like, oh my God, like, did you finish? Did you like, it is a really fun community to be a part of it. And I heard you say it on your stream, Dagovere, last night. Like, if you're tired of all this Star Wars content, like pick up a book.
Pick up a
damn book. Because
40 plus years.
Yeah, 40 plus years. We've got canon stuff. We've got new stuff. We've got old stuff. We've got Luke Skywalker stuff. You've got Thrawn stuff. You've got Old Republic stuff. You've got Bane stuff. You've got Revan stuff.
Look at the library. Right there.
I'll give you a library card, bro.
Yeah. Literally just grab a library card. It's free, bro. It's a public service.
Dagovere, can I go to your house and pick out a book?
Absolutely. I have extras I have extras. I think what I'm going to do Saturday mornings when I go run like freaking 11 miles, whatever that I do, there's this trail that I always go on, and there's houses, and sometimes there's those book cases that you can leave stuff on.
Libraries. Yeah,
I'm about to put some new Jedi Order in there. I'm about to put anything in there, baby. Someone is learning today. But yeah, pick up a book, man. Like 40 plus years. It's a whole new
There's a lot.
world.
A lot of great
close your eyes.
Content, all different kinds of eras. Comics, too. Yeah. There's a ton of fun comics that are out there. Definitely check out.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Connor, because I think, there's a lot of people out there that don't read the High Republic that think it's trash. There's some people that have read it, and it's not for them, and I respect them for trying to read it. But I am someone that loves Legends and New Canon, and I think the High Republic was a very, very good thing because of the publication, because of the entire effort. Say it again, effort. Yes, so now you're at that stage. Good. Now let's do it for the Old Republic. We're not going to retcon anything. We're not going to rewrite anything. Let's start in this era of this timeline where Fate of the Jedi is 100 years, 1,000 years before, 500 years before. Good. Get Matthew Stover, get Timothy Zahn, get all these people, Chris Avalon. Let's do it again. The High Republic efforts, but Old Republic. Let's start doing that for each of these eras that we're in here. where the movies are around. And then, yes, I think eventually you can get live action stuff doing it. I think it all needs to start with that. Yeah. And I don't know why it hasn't happened yet. Maybe because I need to be louder or something. But, yeah, dude, it's just, I will always say this freaking franchise has so much potential. And it starts with that stuff back there. You know, it really does.
It really shows Star Wars is a property that you can really tell when people put effort into it, no matter what it is. Like we look back at like the Lego Star Wars games, so much effort was put into that. You look back into obviously Andor, so much effort was put into that. The High Republic, a lot of effort put into that. Like all of this stuff, when it doesn't even matter what it is. If it's high effort, you can tell, and people usually tend to enjoy it more.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. I don't know if you guys had listened to that part, but I was talking about how if you can't make live action, make the multimedia stuff, make the video games, make the comics, make the books. And if we're not going to do animation, then we should be doing CG. I think CG is like right there. Star Wars, The Old Republic, Blur type stuff. I think if you give me like an hour and a half movie of that, even 90 minutes, and you're making supplementary content around it, like books and comics, I'm fine. That is so good. I don't need a video game, even though I'm getting one and I want those things. But like, if you give me movies like that in that type of style, dude, I don't know why they're doing this. And then it completely separates like canon animation or like what this era is. Every era is defined by whatever it looks like. Oh man, I don't know, dude. The ideas are right there, and it's so, in my opinion, easy to at least try to pitch that idea and get it going with some momentum. There are so many things that you can do to get this franchise rolling again. And
where are we at?
I was just going to say, I think right now in this transition, and especially over the last couple of years, I think they're trying to play it more safe, especially after the Acolyte with some of that backlash. I think in a couple of years, like, maybe with some of these safer projects like Shadow Lord, Mandalorian and Grogu, like maybe that'll help build some momentum, and then maybe this new leadership in Disney will feel more compelled to try newer things and try things maybe air quotes out of the comfort zone. And what I mean by that is outside more of like what we know in the original trilogy. It just seems like Connor, you brought up a good point. They tried something with the Acolyte and the High Republic, and more of those stories would be great. But it got a lot of negativity. So maybe they want to stick to more of their bread and butter in the sense of Maul, Mandalorian, Grogu, like stuff they know that people really enjoy. Until maybe they can build up that, air quotes, I don't know if I want to say trust again, but, do things that work that they know are going to work, and then maybe try to expand out into High Republic. I would love some Old Republic stuff. I know you would too, Dagovere. Maybe even some stuff past what we know would be interesting too.
Johnny, just say it, Daddy Sheev. It's a rebuild. It is a rebuild.
That's
what it is. This is a franchise rebuild. That's
we're
exactly
getting a new coach. It's
you get a new coach. You're getting a new offensive coordinator. You're getting a new general manager. You're getting a new owner. And right now we are trying to build the pieces, and we're playing it safe with Mando and Grogu, which is going to be a rehash of 1 and 2. You got Starfighter coming out, which is going to be a perfect time because now you have Shadow Lord, which is going to get some more recognition, get the momentum back in there, the confidence. Dave, I right here, Dave. I'm telling you right now, if you want someone else to be working on some stuff from these other eras where that you ain't touching it, I got you, bro. I got the pitch right here. I can work on this stuff easily. It'll be very easy for me to do a whole foundation, 1,000+ years of content and stories. I got it, bro. I'm telling you, man. The Old Republic, I think, would do so much in 2028, 2029, 2030, when that game is out, Fate of the Old Republic, and those remakes are coming out, and then you have supplementary content and maybe a CGI movie. Jesus Christ, man. It's so easy. It's so easy. You just have to nail the execution, but the ideas are there. The potential is there. Just, God damn it, someone, please.
Just do it.
Yeah, please. That's how I feel right now.
Yeah. Yeah,
because if you do that right, then you got the Mandoverse. Then you got the new Jedi Order with Rey. It's just let them cook. But you need people that know how to cook.
Yeah, Even Skeleton Crew cooked. Like Skeleton Crew was fantastic. It was high. It was like high effort, good execution for what
It was good
Skeleton
stuff.
Crew was supposed to be. Like supposed to be fun. Supposed to be. I might rewatch Skeleton Crew. Honestly, that's one of my
I like it.
Like a really good
Justice
show.
for Neil. We love Neil.
Yeah, for real. My goat Neil.
Yeah,
Jude Law is also very cool. He's very good. Yeah, I don't know. It's good stuff. The potential in the franchise will always be there, no matter what anyone says.
It's there, but like I said, it's just like I feel like Disney is scared now to maybe go outside the box and try newer things because of the backlash on certain things, which maybe some of it was justified, maybe some of it isn't. But it seems like for now, like you said, we're rebuilding the franchise, gonna go with some more of our bread and butter for now, and then maybe in a couple years. Would love that. And then hit up this man because he's ready to go. He's fresh off the bench. Coach, put him in.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think there is still, that is what's great about Star Wars, is there is still so much more to do with the franchise, and there will always be more stuff to do.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I think we're gonna get some good stuff with Maul Shadow Lord. I
can't wait.
I think that we're gonna be excited to watch. It'll be Star Wars will be back, basically, is what we're gonna say here. And anything else you guys want to add?
Say that I'm very excited for Maul Shadow Lord as well. The trailer really got me hooked. I'm locked in. I can't wait for April 6th and then May the 4th, the final episodes. We will be there.
We will be there.
And then the Mandalorian and Grogu, we will be there. So I'm excited. I'm optimistic and excited for these next couple months of Star Wars. I think we're going to get some great content.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I genuinely feel like it's slowly repairing itself. These projects just need to hit. And there's still limitless potential, man. Stories that could be told, and thousands of years before, thousands of years after. But it's really about whether or not Disney want to take the risk at the end of the day. So,
yeah,
crossing fingers.
Yeah, you're damn right.
Crossing fingers.
Well, if you're still listening to us here at the Starlight Podcast, we appreciate you. I know there's a lot of shit going down in the world right now. We hope to be an escape for you guys, trying to talk about the stuff that we love. But we see everything that's happening here, and just hope everybody's being safe and, doing okay. Want to shout out everybody who's been listening. We're almost at 100 subs here on the YouTube channel. We appreciate it. We're almost at 300 followers on TikTok. We appreciate all the love, but where can they find you guys?
You can find me on TikTok, daddy_Sheev. Also, don't forget to check out the podcast. We're on Spotify, YouTube, TikTok. Find us on all the platforms. Give us a listen.
Let's go. You can find me anywhere. Lord Dagovere inside the Dark Temple coming in. Let's go. Visited by Mara Jade, Luke Skywalker, and Kyle Katarn, and your boy here with all the knowledge because he won't shut up. Dave Filoni, I swear to God, please help me. I love you guys. Thanks for being here.
Beautiful. You'll find me at Jedi.Connor on all platforms, except for Instagram, Jedi.Connor_. Someone got there before me.
Damn, somebody stole you. Word for word, bar for bar.
I know. We're on the journey to 1,000 subs. All right. We're getting there. We will be there. All right.
We will be there no matter what.
We will be there.
We're going to get right to the very top.
You're damn right. You're damn right. And listen, thank you, everybody. May the Force be with you. Deuces.